even the best data collection, the best technical system that doesn't have eyes on it is as good as nothing.
My name's Adam Collings. I'm the Director of Marketing here at AdMind. I'm with Mike Query, our founding engineer, and we're doing a rapid fire session on data democracy. Mike, in the context of marketing analytics, what does data democracy mean?
It's having the right data in the right hands of the right people so that they can make decisions to do their job.
So if I'm looking at my company's marketing data and trying to make some improvements to it, why should I be thinking about data democracy as part of that?
Well, because even the best data collection, the best technical system that doesn't have eyes on it is as good as nothing.
So it feels pretty easy to hear when you say making sure the right data is in the right hands of the right people so they can do their jobs. Why is it so hard to execute?
I think it's hard because that solution is size specific. So big org does something different for sharing its data with its teams than small org does. And so that's one of the things. It takes some team leadership to align people around data. It's not about data free for all. It's about data organization and having the right people have the right data. It's not about keeping it siloed either. It's just having the right balance of it. And in absence of that leadership, people will go to their day-to-day source systems to look at their data, and they will likely not be aligned with their counterparts in other departments. And so you end up with not the right data in the hands of people.
Right people, wrong data.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so what are some times where we've seen it go wrong, and why did it go wrong, and what did they lose out on?
So I think it's a size thing. So it can go wrong by building a solution that's way too mature for your organization. And we've seen that before, where you take on a super complicated tool and implement it super well, and it's meant to feed a whole team of analysts, but you don't have one person on staff who's an analyst. So problem. Or you have the scenario where it's like your team is charged with increasing leads, and they can't see their lead quality at all. You don't have any way to show them the primary output of their efforts.
Okay. So what do they lose in those scenarios? I mean, it sounds like confusing, but where does it stop the business from growing?
Well, what happens is you end up making decisions despite the data. You have data, but you're making decisions without it.
And that's inevitably going to lead to some frustration.
Sure.
Sure. Okay, cool. So what are the times that we've seen it go right, and why do we feel like it went right? And then what did the company gain from?
I think sometimes, it's interesting. Every once in a while, I'm sure there's scenarios where it goes right from the beginning. We don't get called in those scenarios most of the time. We see the scenarios where it's gone wrong and we need to go fix. And one of the things that's key in doing that, where we've seen it go really right, is people who go, we're going to get super disciplined about one specific number for each person. Just start with one for each role. And we're going to get that dead accurate and always available. And then once we have alignment around what the key number is for an individual, then we can start to build more granular vision for their team. So we've seen that happen a few times where you get somebody that comes in that buys into the idea of the architecture, simplifies the collection, builds alignment, and then starts turning results out like what?
Cool. Okay, so to make the most of an analytics practice and really achieve, data democracy, what skills or proficiencies would you need, whether in whole as a person or shared through a couple of people? What are the skills that you need to do this?
Yeah, you need analytics architects, people who can do system design. You need data collection folks, so web engineers or mobile engineers that are collecting data. You need data engineers to be able to wrangle that data and prepare it for visualization engineers to build reporting that people actually consume, and then analysts that tear through the data and find opportunities.
So at what point does it make sense to get some outside opinions on your system?
So I think when you have a gap in one of those areas, and oftentimes marketing teams do, or they have bandwidth constraints on those people, or they need they need somebody to help with the architecture one point in time, but they don't need somebody that's there all day, every day. So those sort of, when you need a gap, that's a reach out time.
So if there's a team out there that's feeling like their data isn't quite living up to its potential, then it's probably worth reaching out to see what we can do.
Yeah, we'd love to talk.
At AdMind, we help you develop a proper analytics practice so that you can measure the entire customer journey from awareness all the way through customer loyalty. This allows you to do more of what's working and less of what's not. So if you're ready for that kind of conversation, then schedule your free strategy call. If not, then stay connected to us on LinkedIn and YouTube until you are ready for that conversation. Your marketing efforts do so much more than just drive traffic. They drive influence, and we can help you measure it. So really, to get the most from data democracy, what you need to do is